For a long time, suburban living has been the way to go, but in recent years, there's been a definite shift back to the idea of urban living. There's a certain buzz and excitement when it comes to living in a city centre. Industrial apartments offer the preferred lifestyle as they provide an affordable standard of living. They have an edgy look that has distinct elements, which proves to be a firm favourite amongst property buyers.
Now we see some of the bigger trends emerging through both architecture and interior design, and if we look at the space itself, we start to see this industrial kind of styling taking place. A lot of raw and natural materials. It really is all about the aesthetic. How things look, how things touch, the texture they have. It's all about texture. So we see things like concrete floors, rough brick walls, industrial light fittings, copper fittings, things that almost look like an old building or decrepit in a sense. And why is this happening? Well, we're all sick of mass production. Mass production is really a thing of the past, and this is almost a revolt against mass production. We want things to be original, to have a character, to have a feeling to them. And that is why we're seeing this industrial styling taking place. It's not because the architect or the interior designer couldn't finish doing the interior. Further to common belief. It really is because it appeals to our senses. When we walk into these sort of industrial looking spaces, we get a feeling about it. We feel warm, we feel excited. It's so much more exciting and interesting than something that is just smooth plastered.
With retail services coming back to the city centre, there's a need for residential areas to make people's lives easier, to cut down on time and costs of travelling. Places such as Maboneng in Johannesburg provide ease and convenience to live in an integrated community that's filled with an atmosphere of art, design and great excitement. It really is the place of light.
Maboneng is an ecosystem that offers young professionals and seasoned professionals the opportunity to live and work and play in one area. So you roll out of your apartment into a yoga lesson. You walk out of your apartment and meet your friends downstairs or your neighbors downstairs for a drink. On a Saturday when you're slightly babalas and you want a oily breakfast, you can go to one of 25 odd restaurants to choose from. The development company started by buying one building about 5 years ago and saw the net effect of what one building and changing it for creatives to come in and have affordable space could do to an area, and then they slowly started buying up more buildings. We started with Arts on Main 5 years ago. We saw the net effect of buying a building, redeveloping it, selling sectional title schemes on, and we slowly started buying more buildings in the area, and we're currently sitting on 42. At the time, the developer was just looking for a building to basically turn into something that he would want to live in himself. And he slowly started understanding that there was a gap in the market and that people could live in the Joburg CBD and that he could offer the ideal lifestyle option for young professionals wanting a little bit more of a challenging residential environment to live in. We buy commercial industrial developments and redevelop them into a mixed-use commercial residential offering. So the building behind me is an office block with retail on the ground floor. The building that we're in right now is a residential development with retail on the ground floor. So we try to populate the ground floor with retail all the time and save space for a bit of parking. And then either the entire building will be an office block or a residential block.
The new industrial revolution, the rebirth of tactile, is taking the residential industry by storm. But what makes this an interesting trend to date?
One of the biggest urban renewal developments, not only in South Africa, but in the entire world. Maboneng has just been voted one of the key trend areas and renewal of urban infrastructure in the world today. This is where it's all happening. Whether it's trends you are after or exciting architecture, Maboneng is the place to be.
Built within former commercial buildings, these industrial or loft apartments have a distinct look and feel. As the owner or tenant, you have unlimited creative play when it comes to the interior design.
Some of the key elements about this industrial trend is using what is at hand. So often we'll see existing buildings with a lot of the existing materials being used. What do I mean by that? Things like concrete floors, exposed brickwork, the existing ducting, and even bare light bulbs. These are the elements that make it such a tactile and beautiful trend. Can you believe I'm in exactly the same industrial space? just by adding a little bit of carpeting and some lush leather furniture, as well as a magnificent bookshelf. It gives a totally different look and breaks up the space beautifully.
With so many interior lighting options to choose from, you're not limited in terms of showcasing your different lighting preferences, placement and design styles. The emphasized ceiling heights create an illusion of a bigger space, which can also work well for somebody who wants to add some storage. Like most owners, you can keep the space open and minimal and get some interesting accessories to complement it.
So with all this excitement taking place and all this urban rejuvenation, who wants to still live in the suburbs? This is where it's all happening. These CBDs, these centers of towns where architects, designers and just the young and influential are moving. They're becoming a hub of complete and utter excitement. This is where it's all happening. So before you look for that townhouse in the suburbs, go and visit these areas. You'll be amazed at what you find.